The NFL is going to hate what the Buccaneers are doing. We have some massive injury updates for two key players. Once again, reinforcements on the way. The Bucs escaped Arizona without any major injuries, and now we have even more players coming back, two of which have been massively anticipated for basically all of the season. I'm Sebastian with Buccaneers Digest. Welcome back, everybody. This is an episode a lot of us have been anticipating, and we finally have news. It's finally here come on. Our guys, number 13 and number 15, are here, and they're practicing. They're back, and whether they play this week or the next week, it's going to be awesome. Before we get into it, subscribe and make sure you are tuned in for everything. Like, comment, share. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers, please. It would mean so much to get there before the Saints game this Sunday. Let's just keep building on this community, and we will get there very shortly. But let's just jump right into it because I can't wait. This is just, oh my gosh, it's the best. Sources: Bucs legendary receiver Mike Evans is having his practice window opened off of IR, and he'll return to practice today, Wednesday. A quicker than expected return from a broken clavicle. Evans has been medically cleared. So Jalen, McMillan, and Mike Evans are practicing today. Both players are on the practice field. It is a walkthrough Wednesday, but at the same time, holy smokes, two big-time reinforcements coming. Jalen McMillan has not played since that preseason game in Pittsburgh, and now he is finally coming off of IR to practice. This is not a guarantee that they will play against the Saints this week, but it is saying that he will either play this week, next week, or the week after. In the next 3 weeks, they will be playing a game, barring any major setbacks. But this is just crazy. And here is there were some videos posted of Jalen McMillan on Walkthrough Wednesday. Mike Evans did not come out during the media portion of practice. That does not mean that he was not practicing today. He just wasn't there when the media was able to be obviously given access. But McMillan was shown. They're doing walkthroughs. I think that is a good sign, personally, of a possibility of him playing. But they also have to get back into game speed. We'll see tomorrow on Thursday just how they handle contact and all that good stuff. Greg Allman said that even the official injury report today is just an estimation, so we'll likely see limited for Mike Evans, but it doesn't really say what he actually did in a walkthrough. I think that's very fair, just all things considered. But holy smokes, guys, there is a possibility this season, I didn't even think it was going to happen this season, that we could be seeing Emeka Egbuka, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Jalen McMillan all on the field at the same time, which seems too good to be true because that's just not only dangerous, but just completely lethal. Obviously, these guys are all coming back from major injuries besides Emeka, and it's going to take a little while for them to really kind of get back into their prime forms, or just at their best at 100%. They might not even be at 100% for the rest of this year, but I just think that a lot of people are surprised that they're coming back this soon. I thought Mike was going to come back maybe just by the time the playoffs come, maybe the last game of the regular season. This is just great news. He has exceeded expectations in his return, and while 1,000 yards is still basically out of the question, unless he gets like 200 yards a game, which, listen, he's a Hall of Famer, you never know, but I'm just happy to have him back. There's been like this air of frustration, air of just depression almost for Bucs fans, just because of the losing streak, and some people said that the win over Arizona wasn't very impressive, so there's just like Bucs fans are waiting for something to get really excited about. And listen, Saints week this week, it's in Tampa. There's nothing better than really showing the Saints, who's boss, who's the top of the NFC South, and sweeping them once again. That would be great. So let's drop another 50 burger on them. We don't know what's going to happen in terms of these guys being back, but I do think that it is important to remember that they worked their tails off to get back on this field. I think there's the coaches easily could have said, listen, it might not be worth it. It's, these guys, we'd rather them be at their 100% selves for next year. But We don't know with Mike Evans. This is the last year on his 2-year contract that he extended. I have a feeling that he will at least do one more year, year 13 for number 13. But we'll see. I mean, just, the NFL is unpredictable. Mike has, expressed in the offseason that he is near the end of his career, which is really just a bummer to say. Jalen McMillan, just an absolute stud last year when all the guys were out. So I can't wait. I think this is just such an amazing group of wide receivers, and it was a real bummer to see McMillan go down the way he did. I think this season might have been a lot different had he been in and that injury hadn't happened. There's a lot of injuries that we wish hadn't happened and might have changed some things, like the Patriots game or the Bills game. But you can't focus on that. We still have Kancey to look forward to as well to come back and all these different things. But the focus is this Sunday getting the win, no matter who's on the field. Matt Mateer from Pewter Report said the Bucs have yet to have a game this season where Evans, Godwin, McMillan, and Mbuka have all played in a game together. They might be able to end that streak soon with Evans and McMillan returning to practice. While it is doubtful that either Evans or McMillan would be ready to be activated for Sunday's game against New Orleans, the following week against Atlanta or the next week at Carolina might be more likely dates for the return to the lineup. My guess, if I had to say, would be the Atlanta game next week if I had to make a prediction. But again, we don't really know too much right now. We will find out more as the days go on, as we see them, in full pads. Is it limited participation, full participation, all that different stuff. Baker also said in his press conference today, Mike attracts so much attention. His playmaking ability is great to have. Obviously, I can trust him, know where he's going to be. He really affects how a defense is going to play you and how a coordinator is going to call it. We'll see how they progress. Continually for J-Mac, it's been a long time coming. He's worked his tail off to get to this point, so hopefully he keeps going in the right direction. Those pieces will be bonuses for us, but we have to execute with what we have right now. So he's a realist. He understands that not everything is a given. McMillan just with a brutal neck injury that we thought was just a strain, but it turned out to be a neck fracture. So he was in a brace for a little while. Then we saw a few weeks ago that he got out of the brace, and now he's looking to get back just to running like himself and just seeing to test the contact ability for him. And I have no doubt that, he's a young guy. It's not like, he's in his 30s. He is a young receiver in his second year. And I just know he is eager to get out there with his guys. And I have all the faith in the world. It just gets me so amped and so hyped. We want to get healthier. It's weird. The Bucs, I feel like, are getting healthier right now as we get towards the end of the season. I just want Baker, obviously, to be okay, because without Baker, none of this works. Bucky is back. We have our whole running back room right now. The offensive line, we have most of our guys back, basically. Defense, we're doing all right in terms of just health, overall health. Hassan Reddick came back. Jamel Dean came back. Now we're just waiting for BMO to come back and some of these other guys. But this isn't very normal. This isn't what you usually expect for health over the season. You're usually losing more and more guys, and the Bucs are getting guys back right now. And it's just a matter of, can we have another Arizona game where it's like, can we get out without any injuries or without something that really will be lingering? And obviously, that's not going to happen every single week. You'll have something new to deal with every week. It's football. You can't go several months without a single injury. That's just not realistic. But at the same time, I think it's important to note that these guys are very, like we said, it's resiliency. Work with what we have. Work with the pieces that we have. And you got to know, when you see Mike back on the practice field, with Jalen McMillan back on the practice field, that's got to give some energy back to the team. Just feeling like, oh my gosh, we're this close to these guys coming back on the field. Let's get through the Saints. They're not a good team this year. Let's sweep them and then focus on Atlanta and focus on Carolina. We have 3 division games in a row. That's not easy. I don't care what division you're in. Listen, the Bucs are lucky to be in the AFC South. I get that. But 3 division games in a row is going to be frustrating because all these teams know each other. And the Panthers game at the end is going to be the biggest test of all. So, it is what it is, but it's just that the energy for this team has to be going up. You just won a game after a brutal losing streak, and now you're getting some key pieces back. Now we just have to avoid some more injuries, make sure that we're calling the games the right way. I hope that the coaches, that they're professionals, I understand, but I feel like it could be easy for them to maybe take some games a little easier, and then especially knowing you have more guys on the way. I just want, Bucky. I'm expecting a big Bucky game this weekend, just because he had a touchdown against Arizona, but you can feel like he wants more. He's eager for more touches, and I think he will get them. And we needed some positive news. Despite the win, we needed more positive news. I think the Bucs fandom right now is a bit in a state of turmoil. We're nervous about the Panthers on their rise right now. We want to get this fifth division straight win. Sorry. And we want to be able to make a playoff run. I obviously that's in doubt, especially with the way the defense is playing. But it's a matter of getting hot at the right moment. I don't care what team you're playing. 3 division games in a row is tough, and then the Miami game, and then Panthers. Listen, those are all winnable games. The Bucs can win out like they have in the past, like they did basically last year, minus the Sunday night game against the Cowboys. We don't have any more primetime games besides the Thursday night game against Atlanta. Hopefully we can get through that game. And we'll see how it goes. But first things first is figuring out how to beat the Saints with or without Mike Evans or Jalen McMillan. Now, question is for you guys. What do you think of this news? Are you excited or are you more worried about the Bucs' chances of winning these games down the stretch? It feels like for the most part, the Bucs this year have been handling their business. Their 5 losses are all to good teams. Unfortunately, like Eagles, who are kind of falling apart right now. Monday night will be interesting to see if the Chargers beat them and could the Bucs jump ahead. We'll see. So there's the Eagles, the Lions, the Patriots, the Bills, and the Rams. Those are all good teams that the Bucs have lost to. But it's not an excuse. The Bucs would like to win more of these important games. We have some good wins, though. We beat the Seahawks. We beat the Texans. Which, at the time didn't feel like as good of a win. Now it looks like a much better win now at this point. And we beat the Niners. So, listen, it's not like the Bucs don't have any good wins under their belt. It's just that we have dropped more games against good teams than we've won them. And we just got to get back on the horse, man. We still have more wins than losses. We're 7-5. We still control our destiny. You win out. You win. You go to the playoffs, and maybe even with a good playoff spot higher than the 4 seed. We will see. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you guys for no more updates in the next video.